Hello. What was that? I don't even know. So I woke up this morning and I was like, I want to film just a really good old school makeup tutorial. And I started watching YouTube. Like, that's what made me fall in love with content creation. I just feel like I don't see a lot of just like old school, like, this is how you do it makeup tutorials. But anyway, before we get into all of that, hi, I'm Sarah. I am a TikToker who's wow, YouTube's growing great. I am a TikToker who started making YouTube videos because I'm freaked out that it's gonna get banned. It's very outside of my comfort zone, but we're just going in full force because what else can you do in life but put 2 feet in the door and hope you don't die? I don't know if that's a phrase that's commonly used, but we're using it in this video. So if you're coming over from TikTok, hi, welcome to long form content. And if you've never seen me before and you're like, who does this bitch think she is? She has less than 1,000 followers. I promise I have like a following elsewhere. I'm just new here. It's like going to a new school. I feel like the new kid in class. So I went over to my Instagram and I was like, y'all help me out. What do you want to see for YouTube? Because I keep like a running list of TikTok ideas, but I just like needed some help on YouTube because this is still kind of new for me. Take a shot every time I act uncomfortable on camera. And I was like honestly kind of shocked at the amount of people that were like, help me update my 2016 makeup. This honestly is the perfect video for me to do today. I loved 2016 makeup. Like that was my era. I loved watching like
Jaclyn Hill and Laura Lee and Manny.
And He Who Shall Not Be Named because I'll be canceled on the internet. And like all those people honestly gave me the building blocks of like how to develop my own style. So I get it. It's really hard to break out of 2016 makeup because you're like, this is where I thrived. This is what people like taught me. And then as content kind of evolved up into 2020 to 2023, everything got really short. You didn't have anyone like holding your hand through the process the way that we did when like beauty YouTube was in its heyday. Let's update your 2016 makeup and I'm gonna teach you how to do that because I also had to kind of like do that myself. That was the longest intro in the world. Let's get it started. The one thing I feel like we all kind of skipped over in 2016 was skin prep. And these days, I feel like you hear a lot of people saying skin prep's so important, but they don't tell you like what they mean by that. Basically, you want to make sure that your skin is like freshly washed, you've done your skincare routine, you've got your serums on, and then I like to add a little bit of extra hydration right before I go in with my makeup so that it sits pretty. So I'm using the Youth to the People Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream. The one thing to keep in mind here is that you want to make sure you're using a water-based moisturizer and not an oil-based one. That way your makeup doesn't like slip and slide around on your face. And then I just started using this. It's the Kosas Glow IV. Now I am oily, so I have to be kind of careful with products like this. I'm just gonna do one pump and mix them together. I'm gonna rub that in along the perimeter of my face. I'm not gonna put it right here along my nose because I tend to get really oily there. And then I also like to take that down my neck just so that neck matches the face because these are kind of bronzy. Explain to me how I put these necklaces on like less than 2 hours ago and they're already all tangled. We did primer in 2016, but now we have better primers. I'm gonna go ahead and do my foundation. There's really nothing special about it. Using the Patrick Ta Creme foundation. Oh, look, there's me in the viewfinder. Okay, concealer. Concealer in 2016, we all did this, like a frickin' clown makeup. This is so much product. And then you would take a damp beauty sponge and basically just pick up all the product and blend it out. I mean, it's okay. Nowadays, what I'm seeing people do is put concealer in small little patches in targeted areas. I'm gonna put it right under my eye, and then I'm gonna lift right here, and then just under the eyebrow. I need to get my eyebrows done. Don't say anything about it. And then the big difference too is you don't wanna immediately go in and blend. The longer you let your concealer sit and dry down, the more staying powder it's gonna have. It will be more opaque, it will cover more. So just like give it a couple of seconds to kind of dry before you grab your beauty blender. You see how much less we're using? Like, you're saving money too. And then I actually like to tap out my concealer these days. I feel like it allows me to keep the product in that targeted area so it's not just going everywhere. And the warmth from my fingers also helps it melt into the skin. First time I ever went viral on TikTok, it was for my concealer tapping method thing. And then I just take like whatever's left over and I just go over my lid. So they look pretty much the same, but this one used so much less product. If I'm remembering correctly, contour in 2016 was really harsh. We used those like really short, fat, rectangular brushes to really like get in there and do a really sharp line. Nowadays, I take my contour shade and I take a contour brush, which is angled, but it's rounded, so it gives a much softer effect than the 2016 contour brushes. I started on my hand just to get it to warm up. I'm just gonna place the product under the cheekbone and I'm gonna let the brush do the work for me. So do you see how that creates that shadow and it like elevates the cheekbone, which is what you want, but we don't have a harsh line. We've definitely learned how to contour better these days. So I feel like a cornerstone thing of 2016 makeup is that no one used blush. People hated it. It just wasn't even, it wasn't popular at all. And instead of blush, everybody was like blinding highlight. Like cover your face in freaking glitter. Do y'all remember strobing? Strobing was a thing. I want to be like I was too cool for the times, but I was never a big fan of highlighters. I just always thought they kind of looked fake. Anyway, one easy thing you can do if you're still like reaching for the 2016 highlighters is just swap it for blush. Like you can honestly kind of put it in the same place. This is from About Face. We're all wearing our blush a little higher these days, placing it closer up to the under eye. You can kind of blend it in with your concealer. If you remember back in 2016, everybody was putting their highlight right here on the top of the cheekbone. You can just do that with blush. It gives a more lifted look and it like, I don't know. I just like blush so much better than highlight. Not that you have to pick. You can do both. I feel like when I put blush on, I'm like rising from the dead. I would say the biggest difference in 2016 versus 2023 makeup is eyebrows, because you had the dawn of the soap brow. And like the average everyday person, the girl that's like doing her makeup at the stoplights as she's late to work, so when her eyebrows like spiky up to the heavens. So try this instead. Just take your favorite brow gel. I like the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Set the hairs directly up so that they do look crazy, like you look like the Grinch, okay? You're stealing Christmas over here. You can achieve that effect too by brushing in the opposite direction. That helps them really stand up. Give that like 30 seconds to kind of dry down. And then just go across the top and push the tops of the hairs down. Not the full brow, but just the tops. That way we still have a brushed up effect, but it doesn't look nuts. And then instead of doing dip brow, which was 2016 brows on fleek, oh my god, we were all obsessed with giant checkmark eyebrows. Try doing a brow pen, just adding in little tiny strokes of hairs in the same like kind of brush up direction. This brow pen is from NYX, by the way. It's the Lift and Snatch in the shade Taupe. I like to start in the middle, work my way out, and then work my way in, because by the time I get to the front of the brow, I just like to do a couple of very, very light strokes, and that just gives us that more natural looking like 2023 brow. Eyeshadow and eyeliner is something that had center stage in 2016. 2023 has really taken a backseat. Like we used to do these giant, blown out, copper, smoky eyes. And there were all these rules, like you couldn't put shimmer in your crease. Now I'm just kind of seeing people like use bronzer as eyeshadow and calling it a day. Like, you can obviously kick it up if you want to, but I feel like what's really got center stage right now in 2023 makeup is skin. So as long as your skin's on point, you can kind of go easy on the eyes. Like it's okay. I'm just using the powder bronzer that I used on my face, and I am putting that in the crease and bringing it down the lid and being super messy with it. Like, I used to spend like 30 minutes blending eyeshadow in 2016 to get like a going out look. And then you would top it off with this giant, thick, winged liner. Like everybody had a little cat eye. We're not doing that anymore. It looks dated. It looks dated. I'm sorry. Everybody always sounds off when I say that and they hate me, but take a little teeny tiny angle brush, grab some darker shadow. It can be a dark brown. It can be a dark black. It does not matter. And measure where it comes up from the bottom lash line and stamp kind of like that, and then go across and stamp it on the upper lid and just connect. Now you can grab a little pencil brush and just soften the edges out a little bit. We're all doing powder liner now. It's not liquid, it's powder. It's easier, it's faster, it's much more soft. We're almost done with the face. Do y'all remember in 2016 when everybody would like overline their lips like crazy? And then you would do the liquid lipstick and you'd have like butthole lips. 2016, I'm seeing a huge resurgence of lip oils and lip stain. This little guy is definitely like the perfect combination of those. This is the new Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Lip Oils. I just got a bunch of them in PR and I love them. The one thing I'm seeing people do is just kind of pat product into their lips so it gives a more sheer wash of color. So you have kind of like what I like to call a cherry popsicle lip, like you've been sucking on a cherry popsicle or a lollipop top and you have that like flush of color. It looks super natural. This is the shade Wonder. I forgot to say that. And I'm going to do a little bit extra just in the center. I feel like the big difference between 2016 lips is everything was matte and opaque and very dramatic. And 2023, everything feels very like soft and natural and flushed and like soft focus. So yeah, that's a couple of tips to help you update your makeup routine. I hope that this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Go follow me over on TikTok and Instagram if you're feeling generous. Like this video if you used to wear liquid eyeliner every single day. And like if you messed it up, it would ruin the rest of your day. Like this video if you also follow me over on TikTok. And like this video if you secretly still like 2016 makeup better than 2023. Cause like, it's got a place in my heart. I'm glad we're done with the liquid lipsticks though. Those things are awful. Anyway, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, that felt awkward. Bye.